Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Most welcome to the class of business finance. Today we will discuss the remaining parts of the short-term financing. Today is our 8th lecture of business finance. Dear students, in lecture 7 we studied the short-term financing, some topics of short-term financing that were spontaneous financing and negotiated financing. Some of the concepts of negotiated financing will be discussed today. Then we will discuss the factoring accounts receivables and then composition of short-term financing. Let me start with the very first topic, that is short-term financing. If you remember, in lecture 7 we studied the spontaneous financing. In spontaneous financing we studied that spontaneous financing is internal financing which arises by day-to-day operations of the firm. For example, the disbursement of taxes, the disbursement of the salaries of the employees, and etc. These were the internal financing. We stretches the firms stretches the payments, such as accrued expenses. Accrued expenses are those expenses which occurred but still they are not paid. That were accrued expenses. So we stretch the accrued expenses or account payables to finance the day-to-day operations of the firm. Next topic was the negotiated financing. Against the spontaneous financing, the negotiated financing is external financing. It's external financing. For example, we discussed the line of credit. If you remember, letter of credit, the banker's acceptance, commercial papers, these were all external short-term financing. Today we will discuss the unsecured loans and secured loans. Unsecured loans and secured loans, these are also external financing. So these are related to the negotiated financing. The first is unsecured financing or unsecured loans, a form of debt for money borrowed that is not backed by the pledge of specific assets. They are uncollateral loans or unsecured loans. They are not secured. They are not backed with any asset of the borrowers. The next is secured loans or collateral loans, a form of debt for money borrowed in which specific assets have been placed to guarantee the payment. Secured loans are guaranteed loans and unsecured loans are unguaranteed loans. Unsecured loans, also called uncollateral loans, they are unsecured, uncollateral and unguaranteed debts. Unsecured loans are not backed with any asset of the borrower, and secured loans are backed or pledged with any asset of the borrower. So let me explain one by one. The first is unsecured loan. Unsecured loan is a loan which is not backed with any asset. It is of two types. Its first is line of credit with bank and the next is revolving credit agreement. The line of credit with bank is an informal arrangement between a bank and its customer, specifying the maximum amount of unsecured credit the bank will permit the firm to owe at any one time. Dear students, line of credit is an informal arrangement یو غیر رسمی ارینجمنٹ دی د بینک او د کسٹمر ترمنځ د بینک او د کسٹمر ترمنځ یو غیر رسمی یو انفارمل ارینجمنٹ دی چې دې کې معلوم اماونٹ ورکول کیږي میکسیمم اماونٹ یعنی هغه زیات اماونٹ چې معلوم وي بارور ته ورکول کیږي په یو وخت مطلب په یو کال کې مثال د خبرې $10 لک تا ته زه درکولی شم دې نه زیات نه اټ از کالډ لاین آف کریډټ چې دې لاین آف کریډټ د چا سره جوړ کړ د کسٹمر سره بینک د کسٹمر سره لاین آف کریډټ جوړي او هغې کې میکسیمم اماونٹ معلوموي چې څومره زه تا ته قرضه درکولی شم 1 year limit that is reviewed prior to renewal to determine if conditions necessitate a change چې کله 1 year پوره کیږي بیا دا رینیو کیږي دا د بل نیکسٹ ایئر لپاره نوی کیږي خو کنډیشنز اپلای کیږي که چیرې د چینجز ضرورت وي چینجز اپلای کیږي او دا چینجز څه دي انټرست ریټ دی فار ایگزامپل څه کال انټرست ریټ 10% دی کال ته 11% دی چون دغه شارټ ټرم فاینانسینګ دی نو دی نشي کولی بینک چې د 2 3 4 5 کالو لپاره ورکړي نو دې ته یو لیمټ ټاکلی چې 1 year کې if changes need for the renewable of contract then they will bring changes to the renewable contract. Credit line is based on the bank's assessment of the credit worthiness and credit needs of the firm. Credit line چې جوړیږي د credit worthiness باندې جوړیږي چې څومره دغه organization یا customer یا firm credit worthiness دی or credit needs of the firm یا څومره د credit ضرورت لري څومره د کریډټ دی هغې په بیس باندې بینک اسسمنٹ کوي بینک انویسټیګیشن کوي چې دغه فارم ته څومره کریډټ ضرورت دی زیاتې قرانه نه اخلي they also provide clean up provision requires the firm to owe the bank nothing for a period of time Under a cleanup provision, the borrower would be required to clean up bank debt. That is, owe the bank nothing for a period of time during the year. The cleanup period is usually 1 to 2 months. The cleanup itself is evidence to the bank that the loan is truly seasonal in nature and not part of the permanent financing of the firm. Otherwise, the bank might end up providing in essence long-term financing at short-term rates. You better know about that. The interest rate of the short-term financing is lower than the interest rate on the long-term financing. So cleanup provision is the evidence that the firm is not using the funds as a long-term financing on the rate of short-term financing. Cleanup provision داسې یو کانسپټ دی چې بینک پرووایډ کوي د فارم د قرض اخیستونکو په بیس باندې د بارور په بیس باندې که چیرې هغه قرضه نه واپسوي نو د کلین اپ کیس پرووایډ کوي د چا په بیس باندې د کسټمر په بیس باندې او دغه وخت 1 نه تر 2 میاشتو پورې وي دغه 1 نه تر 2 میاشتو کې د بالکل قرضه نه ورکوي هغه or the evidence find out कि the investigation की either the bank is not using its funds as a long term financing it's a seasonal financing short term financing is that understood next topic which is related to the unsecured loan is revolving credit agreement a formal legal commitment it's against the line of credit that was informal. The revolving credit agreement is a formal legal commitment to extend credit up to some maximum amount over a stated period of time. Differences between the revolving credit agreement and the line of credit is only formality and informality. Line of credit is informal and the revolving credit agreement is a formal and legal commitment. but the terms and conditions are the same. In line of credit there was maximum amount or a stated period of time, and in revolving credit agreement there is also maximum amount or a stated period of time. So firm receives revolving credit by paying a commitment fee on any unused portion of the maximum amount of the credit. For example, commitment fees अप्लाई कीगी पुछा बांधे वो क्रेडिट होल्डर बांधे वो बारोवर बांधे वाले कचेरी the दुई terms यो फार्मल एग्रीमेंट शुवी भी यो रिवॉल्विंग क्रेडिट एग्रीमेंट शुवी भी जब पर टोल काल के $1 मिलियन दरनाखल मतलब $10 लाख दरनाखल उस कचेरी द क्रेडिट होल्डर या बारोवर पर टोल काल के $15 वाखसले द $15 पाती unused portion of the maximum amount है जब मैक्सिमम अमाउंट दुई terms द $1 मिलियन शुवे यानी $10 शुवे अम्मा अगर बारोवर पर टोल काल के $15 खसी तो द पाती $15 चीज़ी देता unused portion of the maximum amount वाई और commitment fee पर दे बंदी अप्लाई कीगी. Commitment fee is a fee charged by the lender for agreeing to hold credit available. नो दियो terms commitment द $10 शुवे बारोवर $15 पर टोल काल के आखिसी दगा बैंक या लेंडर कर्जवर कौन के $15 टोल काल अवेलेबल सातली पदे निधि इस्तेमाल करी दगा अवेलेबल सातलो बांधे बदे कमिटमेंट फीस चार्ज कई देता कमिटमेंट फीस हुई. इट्स अ फीस चार्ज बाय द लेंडर फॉर एग्रीइंग टू होल्ड क्रेडिट अवेलेबल. क्लियर नो दलता कमिटमेंट फी दे जक फॉर्मल और लीगल कमिटमेंट दे. The formal the illegal, that is also legal, but it was informal. Informal commitment चित्तके that is line of credit अलते पे commitment fee निश्ता maximum amount डलता मालूमी की वो कहता कमी वाखले अगर unused portion of the amount बंदे commitment fee ना apply की. अम्मा पर revolving credit agreement की चिता formal agreement है पदे की कचेर इस्ता पैसे पाते शुए दे बैंक सरा और था कर्ज पर टोल पे अगर एग्रीमेंट की जो कुम लीगल शुए पैसे भी अगर टोले वाना खसे नो पर पाते बांधे कमिटमेंट फी अप्लाई की. एग्रीमेंट फ्रीक्वेंटली एक्सटेंड बियॉन्ड 1 ईयर दा हम दे यो काल नो रुस्सा रिन्यू की एक्सटेंड की बियॉन्ड 1 ईयर हम दगा की बल ट्रांजैक्शन लोन दे unsecured loan की transaction loan a loan agreement that meets the short term funds needs of the firm for a single specific purpose. यो खास पर्पस ले पार ट्रांजैक्शन लोन प्रोवाइड की खास पर्पस ले पार लके यो करारदाद यो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फॉर्म निसी द यो कल पार या दशपगु या द्रिव मैच तो ले पार नो देता चिकम लोन प्रोवाइड की दगा करारदाद दगा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ले पार दैट इज कॉल्ड ट्रांजैक्शन लोन. Each request is handled as a separate transaction by the bank. And project loan determination is based on the cash flow ability of the borrower. And borrower cash flow singa de. पता का new project की चीज़ दे loan आखली दे का बैंक ना आया ता का new project cash flows profitable दी और कने दी. The loan is paid off at the completion of the project by the firm from resulting cash flows. चकला project complete कीगी loan बेर तब वापस हीगी चाहता और बैंक तब बेर तब लोन वर्कवल कीगी चुकुम कैश फ्लोज दे राउट्स दी कुम गट दे ला जनता से कुम गट दे असल कटे दे गटे न बेर तब लोन शेकीगी बैंक तब वापस हीगी. नेक्स्ट द डेटर कास्ट ऑफ borrowing. Now what is the cost of borrowing for debtor? The person who gets fund from the bank. The person who gets fund from the bank or loan from the bank. So what will be the cost of borrowing? In cost of borrowing there is interest rate. First cost in the borrowing is interest rate. That is prime rate. That's benchmark rate. Short term interest rate charged by banks to large credit worthy customers. The customers who are credit worthy, who are large customers, the banks will provide the interest rate, and this is a very low interest rate rather than the long term financing. The interest rate on long term financing will be high. So interest rate on the short term financing will be lower than the long term financing. So it is a prime rate is applied to the borrower to the debtor, that is benchmark rate. हागा रेट च आम दे पे मार्केट की दाबा अप्लाई की पुछा बांधी borrower बांधी, the person who borrow money from the bank. Differential from prime depends upon nor हम दगश्ता चाहे cash balances the other business with bank nor business bank the nor business सरा संग comparator की in cost of servicing the loan. और लोन सर्विस कवलो खदमात प्रोवाइड कवलो परम चुकुम कास वाकी की आगम पे अप्लाई की. Cost of borrowing की second is computing interest rate. How they compute the interest rate? The interest rate is computed on two types. The first type is collect based and the second type is discount based. On the collect based, interest is paid at maturity of the note. Maturity of the note means that when the year is completed, the borrower will redeem the loan back to the bank. So it is called collect base. How to compute the interest on the collect base? Example, if the customer or if the borrower gets $1 lakh from the bank at 10% interest rate for 1 year, so 10,000, 10% multiplied by 0.1 multiplied by 1 lakh, it becomes 10,000. So 10,000 divided by 1 lakh, it becomes 10%. So 10% is the cost of borrowing on debtor. Debtor is person who borrow the money from the bank. Second is discount basis. On the discount base, interest is deducted from the initial loan. It means that it is not paid on maturity. It is paid on the start of the contract. Example, $1 lakh all loan is provided to the customer at the 10% stated interest rate for 1 year. So 10% of the 1 lakh will be 10,000. So 10,000 will be deducted from the 1 lakh because it is discount base, which remains 90,000. So 10,000 divided by 90,000 will be equal to 11.11%. So the cost of borrowing will be 11%, 11.11% on debtor. So what is difference? Difference in the on the base of collect base, the borrower will pay 10% interest. On the discount base, the borrower will pay 11.11%. So most of the customers, most of the borrowers use the collect base. Use the collect base because the collect base is profitable than the discount base. Next, compensating balances. It's a non-interest bearing demand deposit maintained by a firm to compensate a bank for service provided, credit lines or loans. So it's a compensating balance. The portion of balance, the portion of loan is maintained with the bank as a compensating balance, and it is a non-interest bearing. For example, $10 lakh, $1 million are loaned at 10% interest rate for 1 year with a required 1,50,000 compensating balance. So as 10% of the 1 million or 10 lakhs will be 1 lakh, and 1,50,000 is a compensating balance. So 1,50,000 is deducted from the 10 lakhs, so it will remain 8,50,000 usable funds. 1,50,000 is unusable funds which are maintained with the bank as a compensating balance. So 1 lakh divided by 8,50,000 will be equal to 11.76%. So the cost of borrowing at this place, at this situation, will be 11.76%. Next, the commitment fee. The fee charged by the lender for agreeing to hold credit available is on the unused portion of the credit. It's a commitment fee. For example, $1 million revolving credit at 10% stated interest rate for 1 year. Borrowing for the year was 6 lakhs. Required 5% compensating balance on borrowed funds and a 0.5% commitment fee on 4 lakhs of unused credit. It means that commitment fees haga fees de chikala yo customer the bank sara yo करारदाद कई और अगर करारदाद हम रिवॉल्विंग क्रेडिट बेस दे यानी फॉर्मल क्रेडिट बेस दे په دغه بیس کې 1 ملیون دوی قرارداد کوي چې په ټول کال کې به 1 ملیون قرضه زه اخلم خو په ټول کال کې دغه کسټمر 6 لکه ډالر قرضه اخیستي په دې کې 5% کمپنسیټنګ بیلنس یې ایښی دی بارور سره پاتې چې 4 لکه روپۍ دي په دې باندې 0.5% کمټمنټ فی اپلای کیږي ولې چې دغه 4 لکه روپۍ ټول کال بینک ځان سره اویلیبل ساتلی نه دی یوز کړي چیرته so what is the cost of borrowing we can calculate by this formula interest on 6 lakhs will be 60,000 because usable funds was 6 lakhs and 4 lakhs were unused portion of the loan so commitment fee will be applied on the 4 lakhs that was 0.5% will become 2,000 and compensating balance is 6 lakhs multiplied by 5% which it's a compensating balance so it will become 30,000 so unusable funds will be 6 lakhs minus 30,000 will become 5 lakh and 70,000 so what will be the cost of borrowing at this situation 60,000 are interest plus 2,000 is the commitment fee so 62,000 divided by 5 lakh and 70,000 is usable funds will become 10.88%. So this is the cost of borrowing. Next part is secured or asset based loans. Secured loans are also called security or collateral based. They are secured with the any asset of the borrower. Assets pledged by a borrower to ensure a repayment of a loan यानी सिक्योरिटी और कोलेटरल लोन्स प्लेज कीगी बैक कीगी और दा यो इंश्योरेंस वर्कई बैंक ता چې زبر لون واپس کو if the borrower defaults کچېرې د borrower قرض اخیستون کې default شي or ناکام شي the lender may sell the security to pay off the loan نو lender یا bank چې کوي هغه asset چې بیک شوی دی د لون سره هغه به خرڅي او خپل لون به ترلاسه کوي and collateral value depends on was the value the collateral چې دی depends on marketability of the asset the life of the asset and riskiness of the asset that what is the marketability of the backed assets what is the life of the backed assets and what is the riskiness of the backed asset uniform commercial code it's extra information for you model state legislation related to many aspects of commercial transactions that went into effect in Pennsylvania in 1954 it has been adopted with limited changes by most state legislatures Article 9 of the code deals with the security interest of the lender, the security agreement device and the filing of the security agreement. So these three are the related to the Uniform Commercial Code. Article 9 will deal with these three expenses. Next is the account receivable backed loans. These are the types of loans. Types of secured loans the first is account receivable backed loans and the second is the inventory backed loans the account receivable backed loans are very most liquid asset account loans by commercial banks or finance companies banks offer lower interests on the account receivable backed loans evaluation are made on quality of the account receivables not all individual account have to be accepted may reject on why size of the account receivable small accounts may be rejected as being too costly per dollar of loan to handle by the institutions matlab wada account receivables will not be pledged the wada account receivables the costly previously they will not be pledged types of receivable loans arrangement non-notification firm customers are not notified that their accounts have been pledged to the lender common sense the firm forwards all payments from pledged accounts to the lender second is notification firm customers are notified that their accounts have been pledged to the lender and remittances are made directly to the lending institutions so these are types of receivable loans arrangements second is inventory backed loans relatively liquid assets it's relatively to the accounts receivable it's liquid asset but not as liquid as the account receivable Loans evaluations are made on the base of marketability of the inventory, the perishability of the inventory. Perishability means manzatlal chusumro wakidal manzazi. Price stability of the inventory, the difficulty and expense of selling for loan satisfactions, and cash flow ability. What are the cash flows of the inventory? Clear? The types of inventory backed loans. The floating lien, a general or blanket lien against a group of assets. It's a lien against the group of assets such as inventory or receivables without the asset being specifically identified. It's a floating lien. It's a type of inventory backed loan. But next is the chattel mortgage, a lien on specifically identified personal property. It's a lien on specifically identified personal property. It means that personal property is backed to the as inventory backed loans to the bank. Other than real estate, it's not real estate. It's the property such as machines, such as other vehicles, motors, and other property. Next is the trust receipt, a security device acknowledging that the borrower holds specifically identified inventory and proceeds from its sale in trust for the lender. So it's simple, common sense. Borrower holds specifically identified inventory. मालूम यो inventory जानते साथी और आगे proceed कई और sale कई खर्चे for the trust of lender. So lender trust to keep माबन. Terminal warehouse receipt, a receipt for the deposit of goods in a public warehouse that the lender holds as a collateral for a loan. Yeah, terminal warehouse receipt. Your receipt, your warehouse, chirtachi goods pratadi, tawlidat pratadi, inventory pratada, your public warehouse de, your dawlati warehouse de, wagi ki pratadi, aga as a collateral loan work hi chata bank. Next is the field warehouse receipt, a receipt for goods segregated and stored on the borrower's premises. ये field warehouse. The borrower को उख्तने पर तकाज़ा दा inventory अल्तोड़ल की, but under the control of an independent warehouse company. लेकिन control ले दे यो independent चागा दे न दे बैंक सर कुम रब्त लरी न दे borrower सर कुम रब्त लरी आगे पो control की भी that a lender holds as collateral for a loan. Next topic is composition of short-term finance. What is the composition? Best composition of short-term financing. The best mix of short-term financing depends on the cost of the financing method, the availability of funds, the timing of the funds, the flexibility of the funds, degree to which the assets are encumbered. So these are all the best mix of short-term financing, that all the financing must be very low cost and available for all time. But timing of the timing will be feasible, flexibility, changeability, that and degree to which the assets are encumbered. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. This was your today's lecture that was related to the short-term financing. I hope you got some message regarding short-term financing. It's very easy. You can study it from any book, that is the. You can study from the Van Hans book, you can study from the Mayer's book, from the Brigham book, any book you can follow. You can study from these books and you will understand. And simply you can Google from the internet. You can Google short-term financing in the Google search engine. You can find out a lot of plenty of information, plenty of knowledge regarding short-term financing. For now, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Have a nice day.